uh, in my previous video about slowly changing dimension to with the type of date, I have briefed with the one scenario how I've created the same. I'm going to discuss with a practical demo in today's session. So let us try to achieve the same thing. So okay, let's create a mapping now here. So sources EMP table. EMP table as a source. Now let's try to create a lookup. Uh, so basically the purpose of lookup here is to find like a left out return when you give it and select query with EMP table and the target dim table. You will find whatever the matching and non-matching records. When I say non-matching records, if there is any new records comes from the source, so that will be considered as a new record. If that is the same employee number exists in both the table, but there is a change in the attributes fields, so that will be considered as update record. Okay, for that reason we are introducing a lookup to find the differences. Okay, so let us try to bring the, we will connect the lookup. From lookup, what we can do, the next thing is we'll try to point the lookup object. As I told, the target table is dim underscore emp underscore cd2 underscore date. Okay, so if you see here, so now the lookup condition, let's try to resolve the conflicts. Okay, so yeah, so this is the employee number key from the source and employee number from the lookup we are taking. So it's a good practice to keep only the required columns. So I'm removing entire column from the role and keeping only source EMP number. Rest all columns is not needed here. I'm removing all those things. Okay, only source number is more enough. Okay, so this is the condition. You can see source EMP number and lookup EMP number, and return fields we are returning as is. So let us discuss, let us get into the next transformation. Now the next transformation is we are going to create a expression transformation, because from that only the actual additional ports we are going to create and compare between the source data and the lookup data. Let us try to pull the expression transformation. So here we are going to connect both lookup output information as well as source information. Okay, so here if you see here, so let us try to resolve the conflict. Let us name it as lookup for readability as a prefix, and here the target we will give it say source underscore SR. So now here again we need to create 4 output ports. Basically first output port is insert, okay, string, and one more port is to identify update records, and the third output port is for mentioning the start date. Okay, the start date, okay, it should be date time, and fourth one is end date. So these two columns is necessary for historical record distinction. Okay, so basically the current record will hold the end date as 12/31/999. Okay, when I say start date, here we can use the system variable sys date assignment, so that it will take the current sys date for the new record, for example, and okay, and end date, it's going to be to underscore date. It will be future date. Since it is a date time date means data type, we are giving a conversion here and converting the string to this format. Okay, that is the reason we are using this way, because we cannot straight away assign the string here. Okay, now this is done. Now, oh, okay, so now we are good, but this expression and that insert field, whatever the leftover region, the non-matching records, we are going to consider. That is the new employee record. The employee number is null. It's returning for the any new employee comes from the sources, it will return a null value for the lookup side. So for that category record, we are considering as new record. So hence we are assigning as a true condition as a boolean expression. Okay, so this is done. Now coming back to update, we are going to check all the attributes. Instead of typing to save the time, I'm going back to my old mapping and pulling that information. Okay, so here I'm going to grab from my expression here already what I had defined. So I'll take all the things as is. Okay, so now coming back to my new mapping here, I'm going to assign it here to save the time. So now if you see here, the source employee number and the lookup employee numbers are same, but other attributes values are changing. For that reason we are using this, and if that is the change record is matching with this condition, then we are giving the true as a boolean expression. We can use the md5 function also. Otherwise, for this case, I'm for readability I'm giving like this. Okay, so this is also done. Now the next thing is, if you go back the old mapping for an idea, see here we had created router transformation. Okay, and in the router transformation we are passing o underscore insert output port and update port. Insert o underscore insert will be straightforward insert, being a new record, but whereas the update we are routing to update and insert record update. Okay, when I say update, it will be setting the current record end date as this date for the key value, the surrogate key value, corresponding surrogate key value. Whereas the insert record, whatever the changes come across, we are creating a start date as this date and end date would be 12/31/999. So find out active record. That's it. Okay, let us do the same thing again here. So we will create a router transformation now. So we are passing the value here as I told. So we will create a two groups. One group for insert, we can simply call that output port what we received insert. Okay, that's it. Because it's a boolean expression, we no need to do anything. As is we can use it. The true condition validation will be taken care as is. Now next group will be o underscore update. Okay, now again we can assign that o underscore output port as is. Okay, that's it. So now this is good. Now from which here what we can do is, like, we can assign the meaningful name in the target. So I'm giving target thing, and from the output group insert record will pass it here. Okay, and now we will create one we need to create a two additional target for update, because it's going to be upsert logic, update of current record without changes like a current record setting sys date end date as sys date. So this one, and we can give the meaningful name change as update, and we can create one more target for insertion of whatever the change is being done. So consider as a new record here. Okay, so now we can give the name decent. Okay, Now we are good. But here in this update record, we are going to use the update, data driven strategy. Okay, and okay, the target, let us select the target first most thing. If you see the operation, let us try to use the data driven, and it's we can apply dd underscore update, because this is the update record, correct? You can validate the update expression, the strategy update, and the update, we don't need all the columns. We can only we need only two columns basically, like lookup employee number key and the start date. Okay, okay, and if you go to the mapping side here, we are going to point this start employee number key mapping, and the start date is going to be end date here for the update record. Okay, so this is done for update side. Now let us try to see similar thing, the new record also we assigned it. We'll see, just a second. Okay, we didn't assign it yet. Okay, this dim table we can assign it now. Okay, now incoming field, let us, okay, let's do the field mapping. Okay, here yeah, I'm not going to use the employee number key because it's been handled in the database level as a trigger. If you see here, the trigger I've introduced, so this trigger is taken care internally. I'm not using any sequence as such. So this trigger will be fired for each row insertion event, and it will produce a sequence, and it will be inserted internally. So you no need to explicitly define the sequence here. So hence I'm unmapping this one. In database level it has been taken care. Okay, and rest all the fields, okay, the start date, end date, everything is coming. If you don't want the means like unwanted columns, we can do that. To save the time, I'm not doing that. Okay, maybe you can do that too, just a second. It's a good practice. Okay, I'm not going to keep the lkp, okay, lookup employee, because it's going to be null anyway, right? So no use of passing this column information. Okay, rest all the columns, maybe if you want you can keep it. Even this two also not required. That's it. I think we are good now. Yeah, so we are good now, so we can save this. Insert is also ready. Okay, now this insert, okay, here. So this is going to be insert record straight away from the okay, whatever the whatever from the source we can map it here. Okay, so if you see here, so okay, that emp number key again I'm unmapping here, and whatever the unnecessary columns from the lookup, maybe we can remove it. We can introduce the rules. Okay, we can delete the existing one, and we can remove all this lookup information. Being a new record, we don't need nothing to be taken from the okay. Rest all columns has been already mapped. As I told before, the emp number key, actually it's been internally taken care with the trigger. Okay, we no need to do that. We can skip the mapping for that one. So we are good now. The mapping also valid. Now we can again quickly recheck it. Okay, the mapping is valid. So from source to target we are validating, and so lookup and source information again been pulled into expression transformation to compare between lookup and source informations are correct. So when there is a new record comes in, it will be considered as a new record, and when there is a existing record comes in with the changes, it will be considered as update record. So update record will go as a update of the existing record with the end date set to 60, and the new record will be created, the changes record will be pushed into new insert record, upsert logic, and completely brand new record which does not exist in this one target will be considered a new record. Let us try to see in SQL developer real quickly. So if you see here 14 records there in source. Now target does not have any record. Okay, so let's try to run the initial iteration. How does this successfully the 14 records have been inserted? Okay, so now if you go back here, you'll find the 14 records have been inserted successfully. See here. So to understand much better, alter session set NLS date format DTMON So if you see here, it has been inserted with 11:45 a.m. all the records and end dated. Okay, now this is the first iteration with the initial load. All records have been considered as new record. Now, if you want to introduce the scenario like this, one new record and one update record. Okay, when I say one new record, the new record will be inserted um, brand new one, and the next thing is the update record for this particular employee we are going to update, and let us try to see here. So it will create a two new records. I mean, it's like updating the existing record on one more record additionally it will create for the change purpose. Okay, that is the idea here. Let us try to rerun the process again. We should see the difference now. So now if you go back here in the transformation, so now you see the new record with one record it came as a new thing, and the change record, see here one change record updated course, one insert operation for that record has happened. Now let's go back to the SQL developer to confirm the same thing. How does this work? If you go if you run the query again from the dim table here, you'll see totally 16 records. See here 16 records in the bot. We got a new record here, see here, and the change record inserted into new, and in particular to that particular employee also we can query that and double check the same thing. How does this it look like? For example, the update record I mean to mention it about emp number is equal to 7499. Okay, if you see here, see the old record has been set to it started with 11:45 as a new record the first go, but in the second iteration when we updated from 300 it is changed to 450. Okay, that 11:47 the end dated it been, and from the 11:47:22 the start it become the new record start date, and this is become the end date. So whenever we if you try to query this particular table, the end date should be considered for the active record. So that is how the idea behind this history record to find the active records. If you want to see the history of that any particular employee number, you can simply give the employee number and take it like this, a good example. Okay, this is about ACD2 date type discussion, friends. And if you have any queries, let me know. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel.